Raise your hand if you've ever been addicted to a woman that wasn't good for you. Isn't that interesting? Raise your hand if you've been addicted to more than 3 that weren't good for you simultaneously. Okay. This is Deep Inner Game, a conversation with David D'Angelo and Dr. Paul. Not only has Dr. Paul helped many thousands of people overcome just about every type of inner game issue that exists, but he's also created what you might call a unification theory. He has a system that he calls Mind OS that he's going to introduce you to and that he and I are going to discuss. And it has unified all of the great theories of psychology, and he's also brought a lot of his own material to the table. I think he's really going to blow your mind with a lot of this stuff because he's got tools, techniques, systems, step-by-step processes that you can take, immediately use to knock out a lot of your challenges to help you get to a much higher level.
This terminology, Mind OS, to indicate the operating system of the human mind, and that's exactly what I'd like to show you today in its entirety. It's a visual method of solving problems psychologically, and we're going to apply it specifically to Deep Inner Game today. To my knowledge, everything you're going to see works eventually every time. So you can count on it. It's not just fluff or advice or anecdotes. A lot of it comes from the research.
He has simplified a lot of complex psychological concepts, and he's used them over and over and over and tested them and refined them and tested them and refined them to the point where now they work. Now they're real streamlined.
A lot of people have told me it's sort of like drinking from a fire hydrant. I have a lot of stuff to show you. In fact, I'd like to show you all of psychology in one day as applied to Deep Inner Game. One thing I thought of doing, though, is adding to the complex science, adding a little bit of storytelling to kind of balance things out.
So in this program, we're going to go, quote unquote, deep. We're going to go really deep. Our goal is to help you succeed with women and dating. The materials, concepts, tools we're going to share with you are going to be focused on one ultimate goal: success with women and dating. It's our opinion that women are typically not attracted to men who don't have their inner game issues handled. We're going to share our own research, personal step-by-step techniques, and cutting-edge scientific discoveries from others to help you create an inner you that naturally attracts women. We believe that if you take the tools that we're going to share and then you use them, success is almost guaranteed.
And I do intend to give you maps to find psychological gold. Observing ego is the only human skill that can allow change or growth. If you don't have observing ego, you can't grow psychologically.
The stuff we're learning right now might feel a little bit difficult, not as interesting as pickup lines, for instance.
I use these as pickup lines.
That's a good point.
These are the exact recipes for self-esteem. And now you have tools, I believe, to solve any psychological problem or relationship problem or dating problem, deep inner game problem that comes your way. It's just a matter of how you use them.
I get self-conscious, insecure, and uncomfortable when interacting with women.
Remorse issues of various depth and intensity.
I have to have things be perfect.
Is fear that I won't have anything to say after high.
My biggest problem is doubt.
Self-doubt, self-confidence, and self-esteem.
Man, we got a lot of problems in this room, huh? What do you think?
We are so going to nail each of those problems.
It's fantastic.
You were listening to Dr. Paul these last couple of days, and unlike Dr. Paul, I'm like the William Hung school. I've had no formal training. Anyways, all right. I used to script so many situations by being nervous and being overly concerned with what would do and say that my friends used to call me Houdini because I was the master of escaping from getting laid. You were the bastard that made that up. Punishment will continue. It's a miracle. But it's not a miracle. It's science. It's the science of the mind. Dr. Paul was talking about this stuff. You don't know what you can change until you go in there and start digging. You don't know where the boundaries are until you start pushing on them. And most people don't because they think that who they are today is unchangeable and it's really who they are. Stop seeking other people's approval. This seems obvious enough, but yet we all do it. This has been tough for me because David D and I are best friends. One would think, wow, you get to call him up and get coaching from him all the time and share your successes. Unfortunately, that's not really how it works. I used to come up and say, I got 2 phone numbers last night. And he would say, well, I'm really proud of you. Or, I hooked up last night. And he would say, what's his name? Why do you guys think he says this?
I take pleasure in torturing my friends.
Because he's a dick. All right? Because he's a dick.
That was good. That was good.
Anyways.